Hello everybody, it's Brittany again. I'm coming up here to do our Q&A that I had mentioned that we were going to be doing in this particular video. So I have a list of all of your questions on here. I received some questions through Facebook and Instagram and on here on YouTube as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and go through as many as I can. Hopefully I'll be able to get through all of them. So we're just going to jump right into it. Okay, the first question I received was here on YouTube from Jen Lewiston. Jen had asked about using pineapple core for implantation and whether I think that it helped with implantation. So yes, I did use the pineapple core. They say that it has something called bromelain or bromelain, something like that in it that supposedly helps with implantation. And I actually took some of the pineapple core. Try to give a little more light in here. I had some pineapple core probably about 3 days after transfer. I had about a cup of chopped pineapple core, and I had a little bit 3 days after transfer, 4 days after transfer, and 5 days after transfer. And yes, I do think that it definitely helped with implantation because I felt implantation pains pretty much right away after transfer. Actually, it may have been the first day after transfer that I started the pineapple. I know that I did it probably, actually, yeah, I think I had the pineapple core the day of transfer and then for the following 5 days after that. And I definitely felt implantation twinges and pains probably, I think, six hours after transfer. So, yes, I do think it had an effect. And if you are going through IVF right now and you're trying to decide whether or not to purchase some pineapple core to assist with implantation, I highly, highly recommend it because, of course, I have no way of knowing if I would have gotten pregnant without it, but I'm sure glad that I used it because it definitely may have helped. And also it was nice having a sweet treat every night. The next question comes from Anna Jastrzebski in Chesapeake, Virginia. She asked if I plan on getting an epidural, and that's something that I really have not decided against. I mean, I have decided yet fully. I'm not against it. I'm not for it. It's just, I'm going to just kind of go with the flow, let my body lead me, and if I feel like I need an epidural, I won't be afraid to ask for one. So, I mean, it'd be nice to go without getting one because I know that if you don't get an epidural, you have a lot more options for the position you can be in during birth, and you can give birth in all different kinds of positions and whatnot. So, and with the epidural, you're kind of limited on your back or on your, like a modified version of being on your side. So I would rather not get an epidural, but at the same time, you know, I don't know what to expect. I'm not going to suffer through excruciating pain without an epidural if I feel like I need one. So that's how I feel about that. Next question comes from Charlotte Pshimsky. She asked if I plan on having a doula. Yes, I do actually have a doula. I've met with her once already, and I've actually met with her twice already, and I'm meeting with her one more time tonight, actually, this evening. And a doula is just kind of like a birth coach. It's someone that is there to help make sure that your birth plan gets carried out as you would expect, and someone just to help you there through labor. It's not someone, you know, to replace your husband or your partner, but it's just someone to be there with you for support and just to help coach you through the birth process. So I'm really glad that I do have a doula. I really like my doula, and I feel like she's going to be very beneficial to me during birth. So yes, I do have a doula. And doulas are not too terribly expensive either. They're usually reasonable in price, and they don't replace a doctor in any way. You know, a doula will accompany me to the hospital as well as come here to my house. If, for example, I'm in pain or I feel like I'm starting to have contractions, a doula will come here and you know, kind of help me through it and decide whether I need to go to the hospital or not. And it's just having a doula is just kind of like having a little bit of extra moral support, and I'm really happy about that. So yes, definitely have a doula and definitely don't regret it. Next question comes from Betty Dragon from Bowers Hill. She asks, what is your opinion on circumcision? So me and my husband are both very against circumcision. We will not be circumcising our son. The reason for that is I just don't believe that you should perform a cosmetic surgery on an infant. It just doesn't seem right to me. There are really, if you really sit down and research it, there are hardly any benefits. There are actually pretty much no benefits to routine infant circumcision, and there's a lot of risks involved with it. And I just didn't feel like it was something that's necessary. You know, America is pretty much the only country that circumcises routinely, and you know, I have a lot of family in Eastern Europe, in Poland, and they don't do circumcisions over there. You know, unless you're Jewish, they don't circumcise over there. And you know, you don't hear them lining up to get circumcisions. You don't hear about, you know, recurrent infections or any of the problems that pretty much Americans try to say that are going to arise with remaining intact, as I like to say. A lot of the infections and the problems that do occur from being intact actually are from prematurely retracting the foreskin. So it's important that if you are changing the diaper of a boy that is intact, that you remember to, not retract the foreskin. Only clean what is seen, wipe like a finger. The foreskin naturally retracts. It can be anywhere from when the boy is 2 years old to after he reaches puberty. And the only person to retract the foreskin should be the boy himself. So a lot of those infections that people will try to scare you about, they pretty much come from premature retraction of the foreskin. So, and also, we just believe, it's his body, it should be his choice. And from what I've been researching, men that are intact have a lot more nerve endings than men that are circumcised. And, that foreskin is there for a reason. Boys are born with it. It's not meant to be cut off. It protects the head of the penis, and it's there for a reason. It's not just an extra piece of skin. It actually has function. So I highly encourage you to research functions of the foreskin if you are expecting a little boy, because circumcision is just something that I believe is just so barbaric, and I'm so glad that we are not going to do it, and that we're going to leave that decision up to our son when he becomes of age. So the answer to that is no, we will definitely not be circumcising. Okay, next question comes from Elsie McRae. She asked, how do you feel about induction? So we actually already have an induction date, which is really exciting. Personally, I did a lot of research on this as well, and even though a lot of people will try to say, it's best to wait until you go into labor naturally, which there's nothing wrong with that either. That's what you want to do. But from what I've been researching, especially with IVF, since you know the exact date of conception, pretty much, I'm not comfortable going past 39 weeks. Once you reach 39 weeks, your baby is fully developed and it's pretty much ready to come out. There were some studies shown that basically once you reach 39 weeks, that's full term, and there's not really any benefit to mother or baby for continuing to be pregnant past 39 weeks. So yes, we are opting for an induction. I'm not going to say the date yet, but it is between 39 and 40 weeks. And it's just for, like I said, there's a risk of stillbirth. If you go too far past your due date, your placenta could start failing. It's just not a chance I'm willing to take. So, and right now I am 36 weeks and 4 days. So technically 37 weeks is pretty much full term as well. But so Tuesday I'll be 37 weeks, which is full term. They used to actually they used to say 37 weeks is full term. Now I think they say 39 weeks is full term. But either way, 37 weeks is I could pretty much go into labor at any time. So it wouldn't be a bad thing if I went into labor at any time between now and my due date. That'd be fine, because I'm pretty much close enough to full term that where our baby probably would not need the NICU, and he would probably be perfectly fine if he came out very soon. But still hoping to make it to somewhere around 38, 39 weeks. It would be great to go into labor, between now and then on my own, if it happens that way. But if not, we are definitely moving forward with the planned induction between 39 and 40 weeks. Okay, next question comes from Kashmira. She asked, are you dilated already? And are you dilated already, and how was your cervical check? Yes, I had a 36-week appointment, and I had that appointment last week, and they did check my cervix, and yes, it did hurt. It was very painful, but it was worth it because I found out that I'm already a half a centimeter dilated and 50% effaced. That to me, it really doesn't mean a whole lot because from what I've been reading, you can walk around at 3 or 4 centimeters for weeks, or you can be not dilated at all and go into labor the very next day. But at the same time, it was pretty cool to, see that my body is doing what it's supposed to do and it's starting to open up, and I'm starting to get to the point where, maybe I'll progress to the point where I will go into labor on my own. And my next appointment is this coming Monday. And even though it was very painful, I probably will get another cervical check, to be honest with you, just because curiosity is going to be killing me on whether I'm dilating anymore or not. Okay, the next 2 questions. Well, these 2 questions are anonymous, but I'm going to go ahead and answer them anyway. Have you gotten any stretch marks? Yes, I have gotten a few stretch marks. I don't have very many, I have a few. And in fact, I'll go ahead and show you my bump while I'm at it. So this is how my bump looks for 36 weeks and 4 days. As you can see, it's gotten a lot bigger since our last video. I have gotten a few stretch marks down here and a few on this side as well, but not too many. I still definitely think that the cream is helping a lot because I've seen pictures of people at this stage in pregnancy and they have stretch marks like all up here, and I don't have that. So yeah, and this is my 36 week 4 day bump. Definitely gotten bigger. I don't think I've dropped yet either. So if any of y'all have been pregnant before and you have noticed a definite drop in your bump, let me know when you experienced it, because I'm curious to know if I'm going to drop before I go into labor. So that's what I'm anxiously awaiting right now. Dropping, possibly losing my mucus plug, all that stuff I'm anxiously awaiting, but nothing has happened yet. So I'm hoping something like that will happen soon because I'm anxiously awaiting it. I'm anxiously awaiting any sign of labor. The next question is, where do you think your baby will sleep when he comes home from the hospital? We actually bought one of those Halo bassinets. Those had really good reviews, and they can go right beside my bed so that our baby can be right next to us while we're sleeping. So it's kind of like the closest thing you can get to co-sleeping while still being in a safe sleep environment. So we're really excited about that. And there are a couple other, we also obviously have a crib that he'll move into when probably when he reaches the weight limit on the Halo bassinet. And we also have a pack and play and a rock and play. Rock and plays are not technically safe for sleep, because safe sleep, when you think about safe sleep, you want to think about your ABCs: alone, back, and crib. So a baby should always sleep alone with no loose blankets or anything like that. Always placed on their back, in a crib or a bassinet, some sort of flat sleep surface. And a rock and play, because it's at an incline, it's not actually considered a safe sleep surface. So more than likely he will be sleeping in his pack and play, excuse me, or Halo bassinet or crib. And if he does nap a little bit in his rock and play, he'll definitely be supervised, because rock and plays are not technically safe for sleep, even though they advertise rock and play sleepers. That's something that's very misleading. Okay, I think that's pretty much all the questions. All your questions have been answered, so thanks so much for everyone who submitted a question. I'm glad I got around to answering everyone's. Our next video will probably be within the next couple of weeks or so. I'm hoping to get a video up pretty soon. We're going to be doing a name reveal next, more than likely, so I'm going to be posting that. Probably there won't be a birth vlog, just because I'm not as tech savvy as a lot of these YouTubers, and I wouldn't know how to coordinate everything with getting the videographer and posting it and all that. But I definitely will be doing a birth story after our little baby is here, just to talk about how the birth went and everything like that. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye.